Now, India is closed. That's where he's arrived, at Calcutta. India is closed. India is ruled by this very despotic group called the British East India Company. They're a private group making money and ruling the large swaths of Indians. And they do not want missionaries turning up, converting the Indians and making a real mess. Like, we don't want Indians to learn things like civil rights and stuff like that. That would make our job even harder. So Judson is told that if he doesn't leave, he's going to be sent on a ship to England. And nothing could be more odious. He's repulsed by that idea. He finds out in the bay there's one ship leaving for Rangoon. Rangoon is what we would call today Yangon, the capital of Myanmar. Back then it wasn't the capital, but it was the largest city, a large seaport. And he sailed. There's one missionary there. His name's Felix Carey. That's William Carey's son. Felix Carey is serving in Rangoon, and he's married a local woman. Now that's important because in this day and age, let me give you a bit of interesting facts about Burma. Over 95% Buddhist, ruled by an absolute despot of a monarch, and women were his particular possession. A Burmese woman could never leave the country under any circumstances. So when Felix Carey married a native woman, she was actually half Portuguese, half Burmese, but enough Burmese that he basically himself, Felix Carey, had signed his fate to be in Burma the rest of his life. He ends up going, this is Felix, he goes into the employ of the emperor because he's good at inoculations, vaccines, smallpox and different things. And tragically, when Judson and Anne arrive, now they've already given birth to one stillborn baby on the ride over, on the ship journey. And they arrive and there's Felix and his wife and 3 children. And Adoniram and Anne become really close. But then Felix says, I'm being called up to the capital, which is in Ava, about 400, maybe 500 kilometers north up this one. Burma has one river running through it called the Irrawaddy River. And Ava's right up north and Rangoon, or Yangon today, is down at the south. How many people have been to Burma before? I'm going to assume 0 geographical knowledge. Okay. So Felix says, I'm being called up to Ava to serve the emperor in inoculating the whole city. So they only got to spend a few weeks together, which was really depressing because Judson hoped that Felix could help with some of the language. Felix had acquired a little bit of the language, not much. But then as Felix traveling up the river with his wife and 3 babies, the boat capsizes, wife and babies die. Felix is thrown into depression, walks off into the jungle, gives up everything, and his life is ostensibly over. So Judson and Anne are now really the only missionaries, the only Protestant missionaries, because Catholics had been going to Burma for about a century. Portuguese had been there for quite a period of time. But now Adoniram and Anne are the only ones there.